Pepe is gaining fresh momentum as Bitcoin surges past $82,000. So, if you have any interest in Pepe or you hold any Pepe coins, then you need to see this. So, what is the latest Pepe news, and how will all of this affect the value of Pepe? In today's video, I will be answering these questions, and I'm going to be telling you all of the new price-boosting information that has just come out about Pepecoin, and how there is still a high possibility you could become a millionaire from Pepe. I've put a lot of research into this video, so make sure you watch the entire video to not miss out on any price-boosting information. Welcome to Crypto Hype, your daily dose of crypto. If you're interested in everything around crypto, this is the place for you. Subscribe if you want to stay updated with all the crypto news, predictions, and stay one step ahead in the crypto world. Make sure to hit the like button for us to provide you with cryptocurrency news. Also, just before we go any further, this channel has a daily giveaway of 1 million Shiba tokens. To enter, all you have to do is be subscribed to this channel, like this video, and comment #ShibaNu. Good luck. But before we get to our topic, let's take a look at the chart, and see what the price of Pepe is doing on the 11th of April. Shall we? Pepe's price today is around 688 units with 5 zeros. Pepe's price is up 2% in the last 24 hours, with a 24-hour trading volume of $628 million. The token also currently has a market cap of over $2.9 billion, ranking it as the 41st most valuable cryptocurrency. Please keep in mind these prices might have changed by the time you watch this video. And this content is not financial advice. So, let's not waste any time and get into it. Before we get to Pepe news, we must cover the biggest news stories in the general crypto market. First, Bitcoin price at risk as cooling CPI data fails to offset Trump tariff concerns. On Friday, Bitcoin dropped below $80,000, and was still down about 1.6% over the last 24 hours at press time. This came even as the U.S. Consumer Price Index for March showed inflation falling to 2.4%, down from 2.8% in February, and slightly better than the 2.5% forecasted by analysts. The CPI released monthly by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics is a key inflation gauge and influences the Federal Reserve's monetary policy decisions. Normally, lower inflation reduces the need for rate hikes, which tends to benefit risk assets like crypto and stocks. However, despite the positive CPI reading, markets didn't rally. The S&P 500 and Nasdaq both opened sharply lower and closed the day down 3.4% and 4.3% respectively. The total crypto market cap has also dropped 2.8% in the past 24 hours, suggesting that broader concerns are overshadowing any relief from cooling inflation. Trump's trade policies remain the key concern. On April 9th, President Trump announced a 90-day pause on planned tariff hikes and introduced a 10% reciprocal tariff on most countries, but notably excluded China, where it raised tariffs on Chinese imports to a steep 125%, accusing Beijing of failing to respect global trade norms. The move briefly calmed markets, sending Bitcoin up over 7% to $82,000 as investors welcomed the temporary easing of trade tensions. However, that optimism quickly faded after China responded with 84% tariffs on U.S. goods starting April 10. This retaliation renewed fears of a prolonged U.S.-China trade war, which could weigh heavily on investor confidence, especially after the 90-day window ends. According to pundits at the Kobe's letter, the combination of a strong jobs report and cooling inflation may actually give Trump more political room to escalate tariffs further, potentially undoing the progress made on inflation. At the same time, the likelihood of the Federal Reserve cutting interest rates in the near term appears slim. CME Group's Fed Watch tool points to an 81.5% chance the Fed will hold rates steady at its May 7th meeting, with no rate cuts expected until at least June. The macro backdrop remains uncertain for Bitcoin. Capital inflows into Bitcoin have also significantly slowed this year. Analytics platform Glassnode recently flagged that inflows have plunged over 90% from a peak of $100 billion to just around $6 billion. Typically, this is a sign that investor interest may be cooling due to the current uncertainty. Technical indicators also point to a potential downside. If Bitcoin fails to hold the $80,000 level, Glassnode analysts warn it could revisit lower support zones, possibly the 356-day exponential moving average at $76,000. Bitcoin and Ethereum face volatility as $2.5 billion in options expire. Traders are particularly attentive to this event because it has the potential to influence short-term trends through the volume of contracts due for expiry and their notional value. Examining the put-to-call ratios and maximum pain points can provide insights into traders' expectations and possible market directions. Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiring today. The notional value of today's expiring Bitcoin options is $2.23 billion. According to Deribit's data, these 27,657 expiring Bitcoin options have a put-to-call ratio of 0.86. This ratio suggests a prevalence of purchase options over sales options. The data also reveals that the maximum pain point for these expiring options is $81,000. In crypto options trading, the maximum pain point is the price at which most contracts expire worthless. Here, the asset will cause the greatest number of holders financial losses. In addition to Bitcoin options, 183,468 Ethereum contracts are set to expire today. These expiring options have a notional value of $283.6 million and a put-to-call ratio of 0.92. The maximum pain point is $1,700. The current market prices for Bitcoin and Ethereum are below their respective maximum pain points. Bitcoin is trading at $80,622 while Ethereum sits at $1,543. With recent market volatility and ongoing tariff developments, how do you think these expiries will impact price action? Deribit posed. If you are still watching, it would be massively appreciated if you could go ahead and smash the like button. It costs nothing and really helps support the channel. Also, keep watching to find out the latest Pepecoin news. Pepe faces a key test after the death cross signal. Details on this frog-themed cryptocurrency. Pepe recently confirmed a death cross on its 4-hour chart. A death cross happens when a short-term moving average crosses below a longer-term moving average, indicating potential bearish momentum in the market. This signal has sparked concerns among traders as the price of Pepe has recently struggled to gain traction, continuously trading beneath its moving averages on both the 4-hour and daily charts. At press time, Pepe was up 6.27% in the last 24 hours to 675.7 units, as the broader crypto market recovered with US inflation cooling in March. The consumer price index excluding volatile food and energy costs was up 0.1% from February, the smallest increase in 9 months. According to Bureau of Labor Statistics data issued Thursday, the core CPI rose 2.8% since March of last year, the weakest increase in over 4 years. Amid the market's renewed positive momentum, Pepe is currently challenging its 4-hour moving averages of 50 and 200 at 673 units and 709 units respectively, which have recently limited its price. Major test ahead. The moving averages of 50 and 200 on the 4-hour and daily charts have become a barrier, barring any significant upward movement. Pepe's current major test lies in its ability to break through the moving averages and flip them into support. This would necessitate consistent buying pressure from positive market sentiment, major news, or fresh capital inflows into the crypto market. After reaching all-time highs of 2,825 units on December 9, 2024, Pepe declined to enter into a range capped on the upside by its moving averages of 50 and 200. For Pepe to break out of this range, it must first overcome the barrier created by the moving averages. Until then, the meme coin might face continued pressure from sellers, especially given the current market uncertainty. A breakout would target 1,400 units ahead of 2,100 units, while support is envisaged at 300 units if the price plunges further. But this isn't the only big news in crypto recently. If you want to find out the best crypto to buy now, then click the video on screen now. Trust me, you do not want to miss out on these 1,000 times potential altcoins.